Nautical decor is super trendy right now, so let's make a concrete buoy. Hello, I am Katie, the Crafty Blog Stalker, and if you're new to my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there down below. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming craft tutorial videos, make sure to ring that bell. Here are the supplies needed to make our concrete buoy. And first, I just want to point out this Bolt House Farms. This is what we're going to be putting the cement into, just because I really like the shape of this bottle. This is a smoothie drink, and if you don't have this same exact drink available where you are, you can really use any empty plastic container. Then we're also going to use some water and an empty water bottle, scissors, paint, masking tape, this decorative jute rope, a container and a 1/3 cup measuring cup, of course our cement, and then a craft knife, a zip tie, and a popsicle stick. For starters, I'm going to take off this plastic label just so I can see the cement a little bit better as I put it inside the container. And I also want to cut off this top plastic part of the bottle, so I'm going to do that with my craft knife. When mixing the cement, make sure to read the instructions on the specific cement that you have. For mine, it is 3 parts powder or cement to 1 part water. So I'm going to add 3 1/3 cups of the cement and then 1 part water. Now I'm going to have to make this twice because I didn't have a big enough container to mix all the cement at once. Now to add our cement to our container, I'm going to take our empty water bottle and I'm going to make a funnel with it. So I'm just going to cut it just a little bit below that label. I'm going to start the cut with my craft knife, and then once I have the hole, I can just cut it with a pair of scissors. There is my funnel. And I'm going to add my cement. Now to get the cement to move down through the our little funnel there, you kind of have to pound it. And you can see how that cement now is in the bottle. So I'm just going to keep repeating until I have all of that cement in my bottle. And that is how much we have for our first batch. It's about halfway full. So now I'm going to make another batch, same exact measurements, 3 1/3 cup of cement to a 1/3 cup of water. And I'm going to put this cement in the same exact way, just right into our little funnel there. Now this last little bit I'm just going to spoon in because my funnel is hitting that, that top level of cement, and so it won't go in anymore. I'm just going to carefully put it in with my wood stick here. And that is perfect. To make our little handle for our buoy, I've got my rope and I've cut it to 12 inches long. And then with a zip tie, I'm going to bring the ends together and then put the ends of that rope through that hole and tighten the zip line as tight as I can get it. Take a pair of scissors and trim that off. And then to put this into my bottle of cement, I need to be able to push it down. I'm going to take the end of my zip tie and just kind of push that there in the center to push that rope in. And then I can bang it again to even up that top. Now I'm going to need to let this dry for a couple of days, and I'm going to kind of put it up close to something so I can have this part sticking straight up. This one is now nice and dry. You can see the color of it has changed to a little bit of a lighter gray. So now we are going to just cut it out using our craft knife. I'm just going to start there at the top. And I do want to be careful because I don't want to scratch my cement that is all nice and dry. But we got to get it out. So haha, the sides are nice and smooth. Of course, the bottom has that bottle indentation, but that's okay. Now, I didn't mention this at the beginning with the supplies, but I am going to use this sanding block and just kind of smooth some of those rough edges, especially right there along the top. Now, if you wanted to, you could just leave it raw as is. I am going to paint it with some navy blue craft paint. So I want to paint a stripe and then the bottom. So I'm going to put this just about where I want my stripe to be, just so I can use that as a guide. Then I'm going to get a long piece of masking tape and I'm going to try and put it on straight. Okay, and then I'm going to put my spacer back in there. And I want to make sure that that tape is pressed all the way down. So I'm going to go all the way around, pressing down really good with my thumb. I found this empty container in my trash that kind of works perfectly to hold my buoy with the bottom up, because otherwise it won't stand on its own. So I cut it down and I'm going to use that to kind of hold my buoy while I paint. And I've got my navy paint, and you can really use any kind of paintbrush or foam brush that you have at home. And we're just going to paint that on. I'm going to start with the stripe though. Just paint that right on. Then we'll paint the bottom. And I am just going to let that dry. So I let this dry for probably about 10 minutes, and that paint really seeped into that concrete really quick, so dried really, really fast. So now I can take off my masking tape. And there is my cool little concrete buoy. This will work great as a doorstop or even just a little decorative element on a countertop. If you wanted to, you could put like a little felt circle there just to protect this from scratching any surfaces. But the bottom really is quite smooth. But that is an option there if you want. And that is so cute. I absolutely love how this turned out. Where are you going to put your concrete buoy? Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you want more fun craft tutorials, make sure to check out my website, thecraftyblogstalker.com. Thanks everyone. Bye and happy crafting.